Hey everyone, I'm Megan. If you have not joined me before, I don't know why I'm saying us. I don't have too many voices in my head. But yeah, I'm Megan. This is Rogers Reads. I would do a little Megs Meanderings today, which is what I call my series of videos when I just feel like chatting about nothing specific and all sorts of things. So it is November 11th. 2017. First of all, I guess I'll just say that it's obviously the 16th anniversary of 9/11. I'm not sure what to say about that. I feel like it's all been said. And I don't feel particularly emotional this anniversary. There have been past anniversaries that felt really emotional to me. I guess I'll start out by saying that on 9/11 I was 22. I was working on the Jersey Shore. I was single and living with my mother. I was working retail at like a touristy type shop, and the people that owned that store owned several stores, and they closed the stores down maybe like an hour after we opened. We obviously, we as far as everyone and us specifically not having like TV access, or we didn't have smartphones back then. We didn't really know what was going on. I honestly, and this is embarrassing, because I was a fairly intelligent person, but also pretty naive, I guess. This is really embarrassing though, because I was from South Jersey, but I didn't readily know what the World Trade Center even was. Gosh, that is really embarrassing to say, but I didn't. I they I remember people saying, "Oh, planes hit the World Trade Center," and I was just like, "Oh, okay, what is that?" I think obviously once I got home and started watching the news, I probably recognized the buildings. Like it just didn't connect in my mind what it was. I remember um, driving home and trying to call my mom on my little clunky cell phone and not getting through because the lines were all busy or whatever. And then I remember just like sitting in front of the TV for a really long time, I guess in shock, and feeling like this was going to change everything. And I guess I was right. um, yeah, so I think at this point it feels very distant. I try not to, because I do have anxiety, I try not to focus on it a whole lot at this point because I know that it can completely, I can just spiral down to emotions that just are not very helpful to me at this point in my life. If this is a thing that you want to talk about, what your experience was. No direct friends or family or anything. I think that the most that it changed in my life personally is that I did end up marrying my husband the following January. And I'd say that was partially because I guess it was like wow, life really is short, and I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, so let's get started. But other than that, yeah. If that's a thing you want to talk about, feel free. I'd love to hear your experiences, if that's a thing that you want to share. What else? Very night, I participated in Julie from Pages and Pens book tube anniversary / birthday celebration, and I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun, but also I stayed up way too late. I didn't get to sleep until after 2 o'clock in the morning. I can only blame the up until 1 o'clock in the morning on the celebration. I left a little early because my husband was downstairs and I thought he was just waiting around for me to get off the computer because I was in our room, and he needed to go to sleep because he had work the next morning, or that morning. But it turned out he was like in the middle of watching some Netflix, so I still didn't end up going to sleep until after 2 o'clock in the morning, because then I was like hanging out waiting for him. So I didn't get to sleep in because I have a really hard time sleeping in. Exhausted all of Sunday, and I didn't do much besides like watch Netflix in bed. I went from 111 subscribers to, last time I looked, 135, which is awesome, and welcome all new people and new book friends and people that I chatted with over there on that Google Hangout and in the chat room. I had a lot of fun, and I really look forward to getting to know a lot of you, and I'm happy to have all these extra people, but at the same time, anxiety. I don't know why. I think it was just such a sudden jump, and also, although I loved participating in the chat room and the Google Hangout, it was a lot of people, especially like after midnight, and I just never know, because of my anxiety. Like, I love people, and I think I'm like an extrovert or an ambivert, but a lot of it is so difficult and conflicting because of my anxiety. Like, I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. I love excitement and people. I like it. I like the interaction, but at the same time, it's really difficult, and I feel very overwhelmed easily, and it just exhausts me, and I kind of like, I want to put myself out there more, but then I question everything that I say and everything that I don't get a chance to say, and yeah, so it's just very tiring for me, and I think yesterday was like a big day of recovery, not only because I didn't sleep enough, but also because just so many people and talking in front of people and like live and unedited, and it's hard to explain, and I feel weird even saying it, but then at the same time I try to convince myself and remind myself that lots of people deal with this. Lots of people have anxiety. Lots of book people have anxiety. So I just try to remind myself that it's okay to talk about this stuff, because a lot of you probably get it. Or if you don't get it, you're interested in learning about it. But yeah, it's hard. But yeah, I guess that's the thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit. Another thing that I've been doing this past week is trying to write more. A thing that I talk about on my channel regularly is my therapist and going to therapy, because it has been amazing and life-changing. I've attempted going to counselors or therapists throughout my life, from the time I was young, and I was not even diagnosed with anxiety back then. It was more like situational, I guess, that my mom tried tried to have me go to counselors because of situational things. And I had anxiety, but it was not diagnosed, and no one, like, it was not a thing that was dealt with. The fact that I had anxiety back then. I was just kind of like, oh, she's shy, or she's introverted, or that kind of thing. So anyway, so I finally, at 36, I finally started going to therapy, and it was good, and it was helpful. And then that therapist retired like 8 months later, and I found a new therapist whom I just adore, and like, I just don't know why I couldn't have had her or someone like her a long time ago. But I didn't, and this is working out now, and I'm happy for that. So anyway, I was talking about writing last week at my appointment, and how I've always enjoyed writing for myself. Like, I like journaling, or have enjoyed journaling in the past, but how, like, just through life and things that were done and said, and feelings that I had as a kid, I just always felt like I wasn't that great at writing, and it wasn't an important thing, and I had nothing valuable to say, and but I have like this desire to write. I just feel like, what's the point? So so she gave me homework, and she said I needed to write every day and like submit it to something. Like, it didn't have to be like submitting it to like a newspaper or a magazine, but just write an email to someone, or, you know, just write and like put it out there somewhere. So that's not too difficult, because I am usually posting on Facebook or Twitter or something fairly regularly anyway. Put more of my feelings out there, like on Twitter, or like be more like purposeful, I guess, about what I'm putting on Facebook. I sent an email to an author that I've been meaning to write to, and so what was the point of this? I guess just that's a thing that I've been doing this week, is trying to share more of my feelings publicly, like not like on Facebook with people, or on Twitter with people, or that kind of thing. When I wrote the email to the author, or the Facebook message that was like long, nice letter, I posted it on Facebook and Twitter, and yeah. So I'm just trying to get out there, and I always get a positive response anytime I share my thoughts in like a purposefully, somewhat lengthy, thoughtful way. So it's really hard to work past these feelings of like, this just is not anything valuable or important, or that anyone cares about. This is, yeah, it's difficult. That's a thing that I'm working on, I guess, and I guess I wanted to just share that with you guys. I've been thinking a lot about goals for my reading next year, and what I want to accomplish, and what I want to work on, and what I want to read. And I'm going to try to severely limit my book intake. I won't just call it a buying ban, because a lot of my books I swap, or I get for free, or I get for really, really cheap. Kind of make any excuse I can to just get more books, and I don't need to do that. I mean, obviously we all love books here, and that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with getting books, but I literally don't have anywhere to put my books anymore. I'm now stacking them up on the floor in front of my bookshelf, because I just literally, I don't have anywhere else to go with them. And I have so many, the majority of the books that I own are books that I have not read at all. I don't really hold on to books a ton. I mean, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm keeping books that I really, really enjoyed, that really made an impact, that I would like to reread. But for the majority of my books, they're like, read once, they were enjoyable, and I pass them on. And so I really want to get through a lot of my books next year, a good chunk, and I'm going to do like a unhaul 5, buy or acquire 1, with a couple pre-planned, okay, you can go on a little book shopping spree. Because if I don't do that at least a couple times, then this just isn't going to work. But for the most part, next year I want to concentrate on reading what I own and limiting how many books I borrow from the library every month, and limiting how many books I bring in that I have not read before, or even that I have read before. You know, I want to limit how much I use Bookmooch, because I use that a lot for book swapping. I want to limit books I buy from my library book sale shelf, stuff like that. I just recorded my books I want to read by the end of 2017 video, and I'll hopefully have that up soon. And I've been thinking about upcoming readathons, spookathon in October, and borrowathon in November. So yeah, I guess that's all I just want to meander about today. Thanks if you've gotten through all of this. Thank you for watching and listening to my rambling. And if you're not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button and the little bell. Make sure you click the bell, because otherwise YouTube will just randomly tell you when they feel like it, when I've uploaded something new. The bell will give you more notifications, so that would be good. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you around again. Have a great day.